Welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ, your premier destination for election news and information. We are proud to present a brand new series designed to help you discover each candidate's platform. Join us where all candidates from all parties are welcome. Every candidate, every party, no filter. Let's jump in.
Hi, and welcome to SYNC-O-WICZ Presents Candidate Spotlight. I'm Linda SYNC-O-WICZ. I'm the founder and CEO of Fight Voter Fraud. Well, our guest today is Colonel Thomas Chalifoux. So welcome to our program. You are running for Congressional District number 9 in Florida. So why don't you tell us about yourself?
Well, thank you for the invitation. My name is Thomas Chalifoux. I'm a retired Army colonel, 30 years service. I've lived in Central Florida. My family moved here in 1971. We have a vested interest in how the community evolves over the years. It's grown very rapidly from a population. We moved here less than 50,000, and now it's approaching 500,000. Very fast growing county, along with this, the whole district has now become from 3 counties to 7 counties. I'm a businessman for 48 years. Part of my career was in the Army Reserve, but I have 48 years as a general contractor. We also involve with property management, self-storage, water and sewer utilities, owned a health club. We own and operated 3 restaurants, and when I'm not busy, I'm working cows and chickens. But yeah, I love being part of Central Florida, and I want to serve our country for 2 terms, 4 years, and I go back home. It's not about making a career. It's about accomplishing a mission.
All right. So you have actually been in Florida since 1971.
I have, yes.
So you are absolutely a Floridian.
Yeah, I guess you could call me a semi-native.
I would guess that would cover it. So you're running, and why are you running for Congress? What do you want to accomplish?
Well, I believe in the rule of law. When we talk about voter fraud, I absolutely believe that we need to have fair elections. I'm running because we have so much waste and abuse in our federal government, how we spend our money. I'm a businessman, and I have to not only balance my budget, but I have to make money or I go out of business. I'm running because we need to invest in our workforce. We need to invest money in giving them vocational training so they can make more money and they can afford housing and they can, there's so many things we can do, but I think voter fraud is an extremely important issue that's near and dear to my heart. We have to have fair elections. And there's a lot of other things that I want to talk about, but I know today's subject is about voter integrity.
Well, voter integrity, you're right. I mean, obviously you believe in only U.S. citizens voting.
Absolutely.
And making sure everyone has an ID, is over the age of 18, which is basically the common sense to make sure that only U.S. citizens are voting. So with that, you said you have other issues that are important to you. So why don't you let us know about that as well?
Well, as I said earlier, we need to make sure that people don't make more money staying at home and not working. We've got to get everybody that's able-bodied back working. We can't continue to support people not working and collecting from the government. We have to invest in our workforce through vocational training. A part of the Pell Grant now allows that to happen. We really need to stop all this waste and abuse that's going on in our country. It's unbelievable the billions of dollars it disappears through corruption. If I steal a car, I go to jail. If you steal billions, say in Minnesota, somebody ought to go to jail for that, or many people ought to go to jail. I believe that we need to stop endless wars. I'm concerned about voters' young sons and daughters and grandsons getting into various wars throughout the world and losing those precious individuals. I'm concerned how we employ our forces. I'm concerned how our federal budget has continued to get spiral up and up and up, somewhere around $38, $39 trillion. This is causing huge amount of inflation. So all these things coupled with high gas prices, high food prices, I feel the pain. I've worked with people, my people in my business. At one time, we employed 200 people. We're down less than that, but I have a lot of subcontractors. So I really understand how difficult it is to balance your household. Food on the table, pay rent or mortgage payment, pay for your car, the maintenance, the gas. It's tough. I'm concerned about that. And I want to fix whatever we can to make America more affordable.
So you have the same concerns all of us regular Americans have. Like you said, putting food on the table, the skyrocketing costs of just about everything. But we are seeing a huge change that is going on. I mean, we're uncovering across the country, Minnesota, California, and a number of Ohio, a number of other states. And I'm sure there is some in Florida, places that would need to be doged as well.
Yeah.
And I think with that, we are going in the right direction. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, with getting
Under
doging.
President Trump's administration, we're certainly going in the right direction. You have to look at what has happened under the Biden administration. Millions of people across the border. The Republican Party tried to impeach Alejandro Mayorkas. All the Democrats voted against it, and the Senate Republicans and the Democrats, the Democrats didn't want to. Chuck Schumer refused to hear it. I mean, here's a guy wasn't doing his job, should have been fired.
Yep.
In the military, if you don't accomplish your mission, you don't get your job, you get fired.
Right.
And even in business, you get paid to do a job. If you can't do your job, you're going to get replaced. So we got to have rule and order. They should have secured the border. They allowed millions of people come across only for the purpose of voting for Democrats. That was their philosophy.
Right. And the other part of that was not only voting for Democrats, but to start getting more money to go through the NGOs and all their pet projects to give money to people who are not even U.S. citizens. I mean, it's just every day we're hearing more and more of everything that is going on. So I think it'd be fantastic to have you in Congress, knowing what everyday people go through in paying their bills. But I'm hoping you also see on the horizon the end of this 47-year war will finally be over. And then the little bit of a pinch that we have now at the gas pump. Believe me, when I went to the gas pump the other day and it cost me $60 to fill my tank, I was like, ugh. But it's going to go down, and in a big way, very soon.
I think, Linda, when you look at, I'm not a big proponent of employing troops, but we have a cancer, and that's called Iran. It's a very large tumor. We got to cut the tumor out, and that's their nuclear weapons. If we allow them to develop a nuclear weapon and have a way of delivering that nuclear weapon, they'll put it in one of our cities.
Oh, yeah.
We know that's going to happen. So we have to cut the tumor out.
And it's not just Iran. I mean, it's Hamas and Hezbollah and all the other terrorist groups. I mean, look at the terrorist groups we have that are homegrown here in the United States, Antifa.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the stuff that is going on. So we want our country back. We want, the rule of law to be followed.
Yeah.
And, with yourself becoming a congressman in Florida, you'd really be able to help your constituents because you're down to earth. You also, how many years did you have in the military as a colonel?
30 years. I had 7 active and 23 in reserve. I was a citizen soldier. I was called active duty for Desert Storm. I was called active duty many times during that 23 years, but I love my country. I want to serve it again honorably. I think integrity is so important for a congressman. Can you believe what they say? Will they vote for the people, not these big political action committees, not these big outside groups that only concerned about their special interests? I self-funded my campaign, so I'm not obligated to all these special interest groups.
Which also makes it a little more difficult to get your word out there.
They can't intimidate me because what are they going to do? I'm not a person you can intimidate. I'm going to vote for what is right in America. I'm not going to vote like all the Democrats. Whatever the lead Democrats say, we got to do this. You got to vote against America. That's wrong. You got to vote for what's right for America, the voters. We got to say, okay, whether you're a Democrat, independent, whatever your party affiliation is. It's about America first, about taking care of Americans. And as a Republican, I want to prove that this Republican is going to represent the United States of America
Right.
and vote for things that are good for the American people.
Right,
America first.
all people, not just, Republicans, but
people,
Democrats,
absolutely.
independents,
Yeah.
unaffiliated. Yeah. Which
I
is
want
what
to
you,
prove that this Republican is about America.
well, your commitment to being in the Army for as long as you were in the Army and serving our country, right there alone shows how much you care about our country.
Yeah.
And you risking your life for our country. And now you want to continue to serve the people, but not necessarily, in full uniform, right?
Linda, I think about the men that signed the Declaration of Independence 250 years ago. These were not politicians. These were statesmen. They went to Philadelphia. They signed the Declaration. They went and served for a few months, came back home as merchants, farmers, whatever their business was. So they understood what was going on. We cannot afford to have career politicians.
No.
That they become so invested in Washington, D.C. bureaucracy that they're too hard to beat. They have so much money they've collected and they don't care about the people.
Which is also why they should ban all senators and Congress people, I believe, in D.C. from having anything to do with the financial stuff like stock market and trading and all of that, because they've got inside information, nothing like someone going to office and then a few years later, they're a multimillionaire.
Well, and I served on the school board. You voted for something that benefited you. That's called a conflict of interest. I've never had a conflict of interest in the 8 years I served on the school board, Osceola County School Board. It's about representing people. It's not about making yourself rich. I don't believe we should have career politicians. We ought to have term limits. You go to Washington, you serve, you go back home, allow someone else to come in.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
an honor. It's an
two.
honor to serve.
Yeah.
You serve and you go home.
Absolutely. But every time we have people who go in there, they decide to vote against it.
That's conflict of interest, isn't it?
Right. Right. Well, I mean, the other thing
Why
they
would you
usually
vote yourself out of office, huh?
Oh, I know. Not only that, but they also usually vote themselves raises in the middle of the night.
Well,
We've seen that over the years.
well, it's about doing the right thing for Americans. Either you're for America or you're not, or you're for your personal financial interest. Yeah. Term limits has got to be one of the major things. Get these career politicians out of office.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I think you would make a wonderful congressman from Florida in the 9th district,
Yeah,
because you would
you'll be amazed what I'll accomplish in 4 years. You'll be amazed. This
all you
Chalifoux,
need is
he's
a chance.
all over the place. He's talking to people. He's talking to businesses. He wants to know. He's talking to high schools. I'm going to go around all the high schools and just share with them the American dream, that you can do this, but you got to work on improving yourself through education, through training. Just don't feel like a high school degree is going to get you successful. You got to invest in yourself. You got to work hard. This is not something America is going to give you. You have to work for it. And I have to say, American, look at Elon Musk. Here's a guy who came from South Africa with no money. Now he'd probably be the first trillionaire. How is that possible? And only in America you can do that. I've been around the world. America is the only country with the kind of freedom we have. But that's American dream. Anybody can get it.
Yeah. As long as you work for it, anybody can become president if you're a U.S. citizen.
Yeah.
And over 32, is it? You have to be.
Yeah.
So is there anything else you would like your constituents to know about you on, again, why you should be the one they vote for this November?
Well, I represent the American people. No matter where you're at, no matter what color your skin, where you came from, if you believe in American values of fairness, rule of law, you believe that you have to continue to improve yourself to make yourself more hireable. I've employed thousands of people over the last 48 years, and just continue to believe in the American system. It's extremely important that you vote in elections. If you're passionate about what's going on, you must vote. And we have to make sure we have fair elections. And we have to make sure we get those politicians out of office that fight against only Americans vote in our election. We have to tell those politicians they're wrong. We have to make sure that only American citizens vote. And we have to make sure we have ID. People say, well, it's not fair. Well, if you go to the bank, cash a check, you need an ID. If you fly in an airplane, you need an ID. If you buy liquor, you got to have an ID. So what is it? What is the problem about having voter ID? I mean, it's crazy. I want to tell you.
The problem is then they can't cheat.
They can't
That's
cheat.
the
We got to
problem.
figure out how to stop these dead people from voting.
I know. It is absolutely crazy. I
Yeah.
know we were joking earlier about the fact that Florida has the Lazarus effect with the deceased voters that just keep
Yeah.
coming back to life and voting. The system has to be cleaned up. But the big thing is that we want everyone who is eligible to vote to get out and vote. Don't stay home on election day because you don't think your vote is going to matter. Because believe me, if you're not voting, out there voting under your name, somebody else might be.
Linda, if people complain and don't vote, that's a problem, isn't it? You have to vote and say, I voted in this election. Now I can complain about it. If you don't like the way things are going and you're complaining and don't vote, then you're defeating the system. You have to vote, elect a person that closely aligns with your values.
Right.
gotta
Not
vote.
everybody's perfect.
Yeah. Elect that person that has your values in mind.
And-
All I can say is that I believe in those people that signed the Declaration of Independence and the people that followed in Civil War, the American Revolutionary War, World War II, World War I, Korean War, Vietnam. These people are patriots and they're fighting for American freedom. And it's all about American freedom. A government big enough to give you everything is big enough to take everything away.
Absolutely. And freedom is not free.
It's not
I
free. You
mean-
got to work for it. You got to vote.
Yeah.
First off, your obligation to vote, as a 30-year veteran, it's about service to the country. All those people that serve their country is special. They put their lives on the line for America.
Well,
At
this
least we can do is
November,
vote.
we want people voting for you. We'll have your website up on the screen as well for people to go to. Any final thoughts?
Well, I appreciate the opportunity to reach out to the voters. I'm there for you. God bless America.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you so much for coming on.
Okay.
And thank you everyone for watching SYNC-O-WICZ presents Candidate Spotlight with Thomas Chalifoux.